Hello, and welcome to another video. And today, there you go, we're playing Sonic 1. What do you know, this is the original version of the game, so as you can see it's 4x3, I have no spin dash, I have no super peel out. Yeah, this is gonna be an adventure. I'm here playing on my very recently bought the Rev today, the 8-bit Duo M30, which is a replica of the Sega Saturn controller. Well, it's similar to the Genesis controller, I suppose, as well, the 6 button, so yeah. And I'll do some reminiscing today. It's a bit of a different video, I suppose. And it may seem a strange topic to talk about, which is like, well, man, are you sure? Like, would you like to rant games again? This seems a bit strange. But yeah, I think that we lost quite a bit in the translation, man. And I mean, I know it's never gonna happen, you know, it's not like people are actually gonna go back to, hey, let's go back to ranting games. That's an impossibility, right? But we can think of different times, right? That's okay. I'll try and get the 50 rings here because I like to get a continue if I can. Obviously the emerald is a nice bonus as well, I suppose. There we go. No! Alright, but I got to continue, which is actually what I wanted, because as you know, the difference between the good ending and the bad ending on Sonic is very, very marginal, so yeah, it's alright. But yeah, let me start the reminiscing here. So, Sonic 1 is an extremely special game to me. There's a reason I picked this specific game. Not to mention that, I mean, Sonic has been doing pretty well on the channel here. But aside from that, this game is special for me because I kind of have to tell you how my gaming history was. So let's get some speed going here because we don't have the shoes. And I think we have the bug here whereby if you double hit the spikes, it's just an instant death. So there's that. We're gonna try and avoid. But so my gaming history, if you will, is that my actual first console was there we go. So my first console was an Atari 2600. You know, and it was a hand-me-down from my cousin. I was really young. I think I was 3 or 4 or 5. I don't know exactly the age I was when I got the Atari. But in any case, that was my... Man, that was fast. That was the first console I got, and I remember playing Pitfall a lot. I remember playing River Raid and Enduro, those kinds of games, you know, and that's all I knew. And this was about 1991, 1992 for me, right? So it was... I'm from 87, so it was what? Let's think here. 87 to 91 is about 4 or 5, right? Yeah. So that seems about right. I had the Atari. It's gonna be a spring there. No. And so this was basically all I know in terms of gaming, you know, like Atari was what I had, were games for me. And the Master System did really, really well here in Brazil. But at that point in time, I didn't have many friends outside of my house, you know. I live in an apartment, so I didn't go out much. And so I'd be with my parents. I'm an only child, so there's that. So I'd like play my Atari and do stuff that kids do, I suppose. I'm gonna get hit here. I kind of knew it's gonna happen, which is okay. And then, you know, for me, gaming was Atari 2600 up to 1991. Kind of crazy. The NES had been launched, what, 85, I think, in the US, right? Or thereabouts. So yeah, I was kind of behind the times. And then, well, renting games was a very, very commonplace thing at this point in time, right? And so I didn't rent Atari 2600 games. My cousin had a box with a bunch of them, I think 20 or 30 games or so. But I would go to video stores to rent videos with my mom and whatnot. And so there was this video store close to my house that I went one day, and I remember this day like it's crystal clear in my mind, and it's interesting, right? There's a lot of stuff that you don't remember from your childhood, but this one in particular I remember as if it was today, man. I entered the video store, and here in Brazil, I don't know how it was in other countries, but video games are very expensive, games and everything, and so it was commonplace for you to maybe not necessarily have the console, but you could go to these video stores and rent the machine or the console to play for like an hour or half an hour or so, right? So you'd go in there and pay like $1, very, very cheap, even at the time, and you'd be able to play for like an hour. And that was all good. It was great. And I don't remember going to video stores that had video games before this point in time. But this is at least the first memory that I have of it, right? And so I went in there, and man, there was a Sega Mega Drive, as it was called here in Brazil, Genesis in the US, with a Sonic one on the title screen, like Sonic blasting around Green Hill. And you can imagine, man, like to me, what was a game? A game was 2600, like it was Pitfall. And I go from Pitfall to see Sonic 1. It's just like, what the hell, man? This is magical. This is absolutely insane. And then I remember bugging my mom and like asking for money to go to the video store and just be able to play Sonic 1 for like a couple minutes, like an hour or so. And I'd go there like multiple times a week if I recall. Well, I guess we can try. Well, not exactly what I wanted to do, but fine. And so I'd play Sonic 1, well, as a kid, you know. Not the easiest game this one, especially when you get to Labyrinth, and so I guess I shouldn't have gone past Marble, hardly, and that was about it. And I was bugging my parents to buy me a Mega Drive. I was a Sega kid, specifically because of Sonic on this video store. And so I think when I turned 6 or 7, I don't recall exactly which birthday it was, I woke up and I was hearing some music, you know, and I went to the video room, which was the TV room, if you will. I had a TV, and there it was, man. It was a Mega Drive with Sonic 2. And I have pictures of this to this day, which is like me and my friend just sitting down and playing the multiplayer in Sonic 2 that night on my birthday. And it's like the best memory ever. So yeah, this is how I got into Sonic, man. It was seeing Sonic 1, the demo, playing on a rental video store. And so this is very personal to me in the sense that obviously I would be very fond of rental stores because of that. But generally, I think there is quite a lot we lost over time by not having rental stores anymore, like Blockbuster and the like, you know. Because, well, I have a series of reasons here. Let me just get through the lobby here. All right. So the first one I have written here is the physical browsing experience of the games. We did a lot more experimentation, I think, on the whole than we do these days. For me, that is very true. So like everyone else, I buy my games on Steam or, you know, on the Switch online store. And I play a lot of retro games these days, so like I'm not exactly short on options of stuff to play. But as for newer games, like we hear of these games via YouTube videos or a Nintendo Direct or like a I don't have a PlayStation anymore. I used to. I think my last PlayStation was PlayStation 3, and I never had an Xbox. So there's that. And so you maybe see one game or you see another game, and it's stuff that you think that you like, right? So for example, when I go and see a Nintendo Direct, and I saw, for example, Sonic Superstars or saw Mario Wonder on the most recent ones, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna buy these games because I know they like platforms, right? But there's a lot of RPGs there, as you know, on the Switch. And I don't buy any RPGs because generally I'm not hugely fond of RPGs. I guess I like Pokemon, which you could say is an RPG. I like Earthbound. That's about it, really, right? Yeah, not a big game, not a big guy on RPGs. Now, when we used to have rental stores, what most people did, and at least I did, for sure, it was very common. It was for you to like, you'd go to school the whole week, and then you had your parents would allow you to rent one game for the weekend, right? And so you had your games. We didn't have that many games here in Brazil because games are very expensive. I guess they're still expensive these days, but when you consider that games were what, $60, right? Or $50 at that point in time, you consider inflation, games used to be a lot more expensive than they are today. And it makes sense because cartridges are way more expensive to make than CDs or digital distribution, which is what we use today, right? And so it wasn't really possible for you to buy all the games that you want unless you were very rich. And having both consoles, in the sense of having both the SNES and the Genesis, or the TurboGrafx, which never really took off here in Brazil, was not really viable for most people. Which is why we had the whole console wars thing, right? You kind of had to defend your investment on the Genesis or on the SNES, so it made total sense. Alright, I guess I almost died there, so this is good. Hello? Alright. And so, yeah, you would have your 5 days of school, and then you would go back and... Alright, that was a bit cheap. I'm not the biggest fan of Marble. Very controversial opinion here, but you know. Oh no, a ring! Okay, we're gonna be extra careful here right now. Here we go. There is a shortcut, but I don't remember where it is. Probably already passed it, but whatever. So, you'd go to the video store and rent a game for the week. And there was a lot of room for experimentation, you know, because say you rent one game per week, so in a month you're testing out 4 games, right? And you really had to give a chance to other types of games. So how would you choose a game? Well, obviously there were video game magazines, which is something else that we lost over time. There are video game publications these days, but it seems like they're more interested in posting about, I don't know, other stuff. Not necessarily about the games themselves, if you know what I mean. So there's that. So you had video game magazines. That was a source of knowledge that you could have. But otherwise, just like you would look at the box, man. That was basically it. You would look at the box and think about, does this game look fun? I guess it looks good. And yeah, half the time you'd rent terrible games, half the time you'd rent good games, sometimes you'd rent excellent games. But there was a lot of experimentation, you know? So for example, one of the Mega Drive games I like the most is Road Rash. Road Rash 1 and 2. The third one is kind of hit or miss, you know? I don't like the graphics that much. A bit slow. But Road Rash is one of those kinds of games that I would never buy. Because it's a racing game in general, unless it's for the multiplayer, it's a bit less valuable in the sense of things, you know? At least at that time, because of the whole replayability of it. I want that life there, which is why I'm going this way. I love Spring Yard Zone song, man. Music, it's absolutely excellent. Second show, well, obviously Green Hill, right? But also Starlight Song. Really? Okay. No. Very unfortunate. And so there would be a lot of experimentation. Like you would just rent a game and try it out, you know, and hopefully it would work out. Okay, I kind of knew this guy was coming, which is why I was a bit tentative there. Didn't need the rings. And these days, I mean, there's indie games, so there's that. I guess you could say, well, we can go and just wait for a Steam sale, and you can try and buy cheaper games, like $5 games or cheaper ones. But generally, it is harder to experiment with stuff these days because you can't rent the games. Like, you can't realistically, you know, like, let's think of a new release here. I don't know, a Call of Duty, for example. Not that I play Call of Duty, but yeah. And so you can't really go in there and just rent Call of Duty. So there's a lot of free-to-play games for that reason, I suppose, which is like we're trying to give people a taste of the game to see if they like it. And the best way you can do it is with a... Don't come here often. Alright, that's the shortcut for the level. Alright. And so... yeah, I guess there's free-to-play games would be the equivalent today, but you can't really like rent a game for $1 for like 2 days and see if you like it, you know? It's not something that you can do. Which is unfortunate, you know? I think that we lost a bit in there. Right, next reason. Let's see here. Community, yeah, this is a big one for me. This is a big one for me. So as I said, it wasn't really feasible here to buy a lot of consoles. Several people that I knew, friends I knew, they didn't have a console at all, and so they would just like play at a friend's house. And there was the whole like renting the console at the video store for some of the time. And so there would be this huge culture on multiplayer games, man. I could go in there and some games, for example, obviously Street Fighter was a big one. And what else? In Brazil, the Konami International Superstar Soccer was a big one as well. And Mortal Kombat, obviously. You'd go in there and, man, you'd see like 10 TVs lined up with SNESs and Mega Drives and people just playing Street Fighter. And you wouldn't even necessarily have to play, man. It was an interesting thing. There were several times I'd just go to the video store to watch people play, you know? I maybe didn't have the money to play myself. I'd just go in there and watch people playing Street Fighter. It was like a great time. Really, it was a great time. Just going and watching people play. It's interesting if you think about it. Doesn't seem like it's a lot of fun, but you know, it really is. It really was. And I have another video on arcades, which is like its own subject. I absolutely love arcades. It's another thing that we lost over time that I dearly miss. And there's this aspect of me going to arcades and watching people play like the Simpsons arcade, the beat 'em up, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as well. And yeah, sometimes that was my afternoon, man. I love doing that. So there was the sense of community of you going to the video store and meeting all the people there and people giving recommendations also. So there was the clerks on the store, right, that would like recommend you a game. Yeah, they just launched this game over here. Have you seen it? No. And they'd try it out and discuss what you like with them and build this rapport on the store, you know, like getting known in your local gaming community. It was really nice. It was really nice. And nowadays it's just you in your room or in your living room or whatever and playing by yourself or online. Which, sure, like I guess you can play online. That's some way to go about it, and you can play with your friends for sure. But you know, it's not the same thing. And you don't meet as many people. There's also that. So all those people that you'd meet on the video store, that's kind of lost. You won't meet. Well, I guess you can meet them in the lobby and you can hurl some insults between each other. There's that. is it? I don't remember. All right. I guess that's it. I guess we want to reach the platform there today. It's fine. So yeah, the community, we kind of lost that. There are also events. So everybody talking about esports these days, man. Like esports is fun and all, but you're competing at a global stage, you know? So like when I go into, I play Dota a lot, and it's very evident how not actually good you are when you actually watch the international, you know, and watch people that know what they're doing. Or if it's not that, then you, I don't know, let's say you like playing Rocket League, or a game I like playing. And then you go into on Twitch and you see people that actually know what you're doing, and you think, man, I suck, man, I'm terrible at this game, what the hell am I doing? And it's a bit disheartening, you know, like it would be nice to be good at the game, but it's hard, man, it is hard. And at that time, at that point in time, if you had your rental store that you should go, right, or some close to your home, you could just have a local tournament. And people would just like play amongst themselves. Right, let me play focus here. It's okay. There we go. So there was this Mario Kart tournament that happened in a shopping center where I went when I was a kid. I was a bit older then, yes, like 10 or 12 or something. And I didn't have Mario Kart, but they ran Mario Kart all the time. Obviously a great game, right? Mario Kart 64, I mean. And there was this tournament. It was a time trial tournament on, I think it was Star Cup, I don't remember. I recall playing on Royal Raceway and Mario Circuit. And like, obviously I'm not an esports level player of Mario Kart, but given the people that were on the tournament, I was really good at that level, you know? And so, am I gonna die here? Hopefully not. Man, Labyrinth comes for us all, you know? One day or another, Labyrinth comes, and yeah, this level is not good. Like, this is the part that sucks about Sonic 1. All the other levels I can tolerate somewhat. I guess Scrap Brain is, you know, it's not the best. But Labyrinth is hard to tolerate. For sure. And so there was this tournament, and I got second place, if I remember correctly, and I was super pumped. And now let's transport that to today. You know, let's say there is a Mario Kart 8 tournament. And then what? I'm not good at the game, man. Let's be honest, I'm not good. And then you could say, well, there can be like regional rankings, as there is, for example, in Trackmania, right? They have like your city ranking, or they have your state ranking or some such. And yeah, sure, there is that, yeah. But at some level, you know that you're not actually competing with people that are good at the game. You know, you're kind of playing on the minor leagues. Not to mention, if you are on a more populated city where there's good players, then, well, I guess that sucks because you're not even the best in your city. So there's that. And yeah, we kind of lost this possibility of having like small tournaments that it's just you and the mates that live close by. And yeah, I kind of miss that. Yeah. Let's see what else I have in here. Access to rare and obscure titles. That's another thing. There is no more rare games today, you know, because everything is digital. And so let me get another ring here. I think this was a mistake, but we'll see. Oh no, I can read right here, it's fine. So there's not really rare games these days, right? Because everything is digital, so you just go in there and Hang on, let me wait here because I remember dying to this cork here. Not too long ago. Sure, I'll get this air bubble. And but back then, man, there was really the possibility of you like if there were several rental stores close to your home, they would have the common titles like the Sonics, the Contras, the Castlevanias and whatnot. But sometimes you'd find like a really strange title somewhere that you didn't find in any other video store. And it was really like this special moment of finding, man, what is this game? And you'd rent it and it would be only a single copy of the game. And sometimes it would be hard to get that because someone else had rented it, right? Which can be seen as a negative thing for sure. Like if you were really looking forward to renting a particular game and then someone else rented that game before you, well, that sucks. But then there's the flip side of that, which is like, well, maybe that's an opportunity for you to try something different, you know? And maybe you'll find a game that you like. But yeah, generally... the rare game thing, I remember, let me see if I recall any stories in that. Oh yeah, Mischief Makers. That's by Treasure, if I'm not mistaken, right? And like, I went to a video store once, which was not close to my home in particular, and they had Mischief Makers, and it was like, I saw the box, I hadn't seen the game anywhere else before, and it seemed pretty interesting. There's all of those platforms with faces, you know, which is very strange. It's not common design, if you will. I was like, sure, let's try it out. And so I rented Mischief Makers, and you know what? The game is really good, man. The game is really good. And if it were today and you had like a Mischief Makers equivalent on Steam, I'd never buy the game, man. Like, you know, because there's the investment side of things, you know, which is like, well, you can't rent the game for $1. And so will you blow, I don't know, if it's an indie title, $10, $15 or whatever, just on a whim, hoping for the game to be good? You're hardly gonna do that, right? And so... yeah, I was kind of knowing that that guy would screw me over. Yeah. So yeah, that's a thing that we lost, like finding these special titles that were not very common, and it was this rare game that only a particular video store had, and you'd be like looking forward to renting it on a particular weekend or discovering it, you know. Well, next thing I have in here is the physical collection of games. This I try to do to this day, to be honest with you. One of the reasons I stopped console gaming, as I mentioned, I had the N64, and then GameCube wasn't really that popular here in Brazil, unfortunately. And so the PS2 was very popular, and I had the PS2, as most people had the PS2 as well. Alright, I guess yeah, you can't press to the side because there's the speed cap on the jumps. A particular situation here with Sonic 1. I kind of want to go there. Oh, can I do it? No, I can't. Okay. And so one of the reasons I stopped playing console games is, first of all, obviously I got into PC gaming, so there's that. But also, I'm not a big fan of CDs, you know. Because CDs, they scratch really easily. It's really easy for you to, I don't know. Especially, imagine lending a CD to a friend, man. That's like, that's a hard one for me. Because if they don't treat your CDs very, very carefully, you know, next thing you know, your great copy there of Gran Turismo or whatever is just toast. Now, cartridges are super resilient. Like, I have copies here of NES games. I have Mario 3, for example. physical. That is just pristine, man. It works to this day. I just boot up my NES here, put Mario Train there, it's working. Game is from what, 90, right, or 89, one of the two. And so it's been what, 30 years, more than that, right? More than 30 years, and the game's still working. Like, that is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. It's really fantastic. And yeah, that was one of the reasons that I stopped playing. No. Yay. Alright, there we go. Labyrinth 2 is one of my least favorite stages. There's a couple mazes in here that are hard to get out of. Yeah, so I don't like CDs, as I said. Shouldn't there be a thingy here? Push it forward? I guess not. And so after the PS3, I never bought any other consoles until the Switch. So the Switch was the console I bought after the PS3. I had a Wii also, which was a very easy console to have alternate access to games, if you catch my drift. So that was something that I had in mind when I got the Switch. That was nice. But yeah, generally not a big fan of CDs. Oh, I'm getting hit here. There's no way. So now with the Switch, fortunately these days I have more expendable income than I had in the past, so that's nice. And so I really like purchasing physical copies, you know? So most, if not all, of my Switch games are actually physical. The one game that I don't have physical, which I want to fix that in the short term, is Sonic Mania, because I bought the original digital download, and so I don't have the physical version for that. How the fuck do I get out here? I think it's up there, right? Yeah. This is I hate this part, because I never know how to get out of here. I always forget. I waste 10 minutes here, and then I'm like, oh man, yeah, that's what I had to do. It's so obvious, but you know. We'll get out. Just you wait. Because having the games physically in your hand, man, it's something else. Like reading the manual, reading the box, all that is just, it's a very nice experience. Oof, that is some slowdown. Let's go this way. Yeah, I have to go up there for sure. That's the solution. And when we had rentals, video stores, like rental stores, that was the whole thing, right? Sometimes they would sell those games. They would have like some sales on the games that were a bit older, or people weren't renting as much, or they had too many copies of games and they wanted to get rid of some of them. And just go in there and buy some physical copies. And that was that, and that was very good. And it goes hand in hand with like retro consoles and having physical cartridges and stuff like that. But the whole going to the rental store is a very big aspect in the whole thing. Right, there we go. We got out. Now we reverse here and then we just get out. There we go. What else? I have another thing written here. Rental as a low risk trial. That is kind of something that I said already, which is like, you don't know if you like a particular game, you can just go to the rental store, blow a buck on the game, you know, and if it's good, well, there you go. You just found yourself a good game. That's nice. And what the? Okay, that was a bit strange. And if it's not good, well, we just lost a buck. That's all good. Yeah, so that's all fine. And we kind of can't do that anymore. Oh, there was a shield there, right? Yeah, I got on the shield, but this boss is so bad. Oh, it's right here. Right, I'm gonna try and do this first try, because this boss is one that if you die, it gets progressively harder. Okay. Come on. Fast jump. There you go. Ooh, we're past Labyrinth. Jesus Christ. But you can see that I was talking a lot less here on Labyrinth because this level just... It is something else. Alright, let's go past the low risk trial because I already talked a bunch about that. Let's see. Instant gratification. Oh, yeah. No, this is... I wrote it in a strange way, but what I mean about this is... Man, do you like downloading games? Nobody likes downloading games, right? That is something that is just... it's just the worst, man. Like you buy a new game and you're like, okay, let's... Okay, I wanna do the top path. Let's get some speed here going. Oh, I got a life. Nice. Oh man, music on Starlight is so good. Let me focus on the game. I don't know, man. Everybody likes Green Hill. Obviously, I like Green Hill as well. It's the perfect first zone, but dude, Starlight is it's up there for sure. This zone is really fucking good. Let me be careful here because I know there is a bottomless pit here somewhere. Can we do it? No? Okay. So yeah, downloading games, man. You buy a new game, and that happens a bit less on the Switch, but it sometimes happens as well. But I know that happens a lot in like newer consoles. And so you grab the game and there is the day one patch. It's 50 gigabytes. Or you buy the game digitally and it's... I don't know. Travel through time, man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make this happen, I think. Yeah. And... Well, what's the difference between what I'm saying? Very sparsely, right? What's the difference between this and... Okay, there we go. And going to a video store and renting a game. If it was close by to your home and you could go by foot, that's nice. So that was one thing there. But if you'd go by car with your parents or something, you'd go in there and rent the game and you had the box in your head and you're just already thinking about how the game was. Most times you hadn't seen the game before, you hadn't played it, or nobody that you knew. Maybe you saw a friend playing or something like that, right? But generally, that was your first experience with the game, and you're just like really thinking about what the game was probably like. And then you arrive home, you put the cartridge in there, and you know, it's working. It just works, man. You just put the cards in there, you press power, the game starts. Especially, I'm not big on story games. I guess you can probably figure that out by the... I'm dead? Am I dead? Ooh. Almost. Okay. Didn't want to drop down here, but I guess we'll have to make do now. But yeah, like games that have too much story, that have too much cutscenes, and you just like you start the game up and then there is a bunch of context and cutscenes and whatnot, and then you just want to start playing the game, but then there's a tutorial. And then you start playing the tutorial and I'm like, okay man, can I play the game? And oh, it's just so much, man. It's just so much. There's a Zelda game, which is it's Twilight Princess. I like Zelda games a lot, as everybody does, right? And so I played the Zelda games on NES. After I was older, I played A Link to the Past when I was a kid. And obviously OT and Majora's Mask. And OT is kind of there, you know. I can't forgive the whole cutscene situation in OT, but there's a lot, man. Like there's a lot of cutscenes in OT. I could do without them, you know. I really could do without the OT cutscenes, most of them. Really? Okay. What am I doing here? Okay. Never mind. Why did I go there? I guess we'll never know. And so with the gigabytes, gigabytes that I mentioned, everything, like you get a new game these days, and then there's a day one patch, and then you boot up the game, you wait for it to install on your hard drive. I don't have a console, thank the Lord, and download times on Steam are generally pretty fast, but yeah, like man, it's just too much. Jesus Christ, it's just too much. If you want to play a game, you have to wait. Oh, and there's the patch issue, right? And don't get me wrong, I find it nice that people can patch the games and they can correct stuff that they got wrong the first time around. But let's be honest here, like people ship half-baked games because they know full well that they can patch the game, and so yeah, like that's it. And it is not to say that people would like just ship perfect games back then, which is absolutely not the case. You can just watch some AVGN episodes if you want proof on that. Am I done? Okay. Yes, I am done. But yeah, like generally just being able to play the game is something that we kind of lost. And it's not exactly related to video stores, but it's in the ballpark, you know, it's an ancillary subject for sure. The boss? Yeah. This boss is really good. It's Sonic bosses generally are pretty bad, but this one is really good. This is one of the better bosses, even when you consider older, later games. It's interesting how they got this boss fight so right first time around. Well, but yeah, just being able to rent the game, put the game in the console, turn on the power button, and there you go. It's a really nice thing. What else? Impact on the local economy. This is a an interesting argument, but it's absolutely true, man. Like these days, you go to Steam or you go to the Epic Game Store or whatever, and it's nice that you can give money to Gabe Newell, and Gabe is a nice guy and all that, but you know, probably better if I could just. Oh, this is the Mega Man moment, you know. Fucking hell, man. There we go. It was nice to give money to people that live in your town, you know. So I do recall several video stores in my neighborhood where I personally knew everyone, and like they were very nice people. It was really a pleasure to visit them and talk with those people, you know. Even being a kid, like obviously I don't have that much capability to interact in complex ways, but yeah, it was really nice to fund local business, you know. Am I dead? Yeah, I'm dead. Oh, this is the first death on Scrap Brain. Not bad, not bad. Giving money to the local economy, man. Jesus Christ, man. Man, Scrap Brain is one of the stages, alright. Okay, bro. Okay. It gets a bit harder to talk here. For sure. I have to pay attention to what I'm doing. Let's take it a bit slower. This is the weaker part of Sonic. Oh! Whew. Okay. No, man. Come on. Oof, that was so frustrating. Sorry about the sound there. Try and focus a bit here. Okay. Okay. That's a pattern here. Okay, that's one. There we go. Freaking hell, man. Whew. It recalls me of the Master System Scrap Brain, which is fucking maze, man. The second level is just fun times as well. Am I done? Thank God. Alright. Let's see what else. Yeah, actually I reached the end of my list, man. Oh, we'll finish the game because we're pretty close. And there was no way I wasn't gonna finish Sonic 1, you know? But yeah, man. So in the comments there, I wanna hear some personal stories that you have with rental stores. Yes, we all have some stories with those, yeah. If you are older, of course. If you're younger, then this maybe can be a not exactly a learning experience, but like a reference on past times. Could say, be like, well, this is how the world used to be. Now there's some people that are gonna come along and say, oh, no, it's much better today because we can, I don't know, download games on Steam and all that. And yeah, I'm not saying that everything was better, of course not. There were a lot of bad things that we are kind of past. Especially, well, there was a lot of buggy games, right? So not sugarcoat that. And especially if you were to buy, this wouldn't happen that much here in Brazil, I suppose, because as I mentioned, it was pretty hard to purchase a lot of games because they were very expensive. And so the renting culture was really big. But that was kind of a strange hitbox, if you ask me, man. I kind of have to dispute that one. Okay. Please give me a ring, man. Please give me one ring. Alright, fair enough. Is it from the beginning? It is. God damn it, man. Sonic 1, not the easiest game. Who knew? The whole roll lock that happens here is kind of difficult to work around, because here in Sonic 1, if you throw yourself airbound, you kind of can't fix your trajectory after a while. Let's go to the top path. I kind of knew I had to go to the top path, but I was second guessing myself. Okay, that's a possibility. Yeah, sure. Hitting the shield on the way up, not being able to make it true. Yeah. Alright, see, I got roll lock there, so I couldn't. like change the trajectory of Sonic while he was airborne, so that makes it kind of hard to see. He kind of sticks to the wall because I want to get the shield there, but obviously this is not proving to be the easiest thing. Okay, there we go. Before I instantly lose the shield, you know. Okay, there we go. I still have one ring, which is nice. I guess understandably I'll focus a bit more on the game right now. Man, I really thought I was gonna die there. Not gonna lie. Please, man, let it be over. Jesus Christ, this stage is so long. What the fuck is happening here, man? Okay, it's a Mega Man scenario. All right. It's a Mega Man situation. One of those. That's just damage boost. You know? It's enough for me, man. Let's go. Please let it be over. Gonna go up? No, have to go down. Alright, yeah. If I came to the top path, I'd be there. Is this it? Please tell me this is it. Of course, I get hit in the face. There we fucking go, right? I just have to take the shortcuts on. Ooh, scrap brain 3 and we'll be right there. So where's the shortcut? I'm trying to recall. I think it's to the bottom or to the top. I don't remember. I guess we'll find out, man. Let's go. It's here. Yeah, for sure. I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay. 0 rings is not ideal, but hey. Okay. Okay, we're done, right? Yep. All right, let's go. I think it's 8, right? Let's count them. That's 1, 2, 3, 3. 4. 5. I don't like this. I don't like this. Let me wait it out. That's when you have this space and you can just chill. That's 6, right? 7. 1 more. Hopefully. Oh, come on, Robotnik. Please, man. Okay, man. Alright. You got me. Good stuff. Okay, that's on me. That's 100% on me. Was dumb. It's getting a bit ridiculous, but okay. Dude. Alright, alright. There we go. Very nice. And that, my friends, is the game. Good, that's right, I think, on Scrap Brain 2 or 3. On Scrap Brain 2, so not bad. And that was it. Yeah, I couldn't do this as a kid, man. I don't think I ever saw Starlight. Very, very possible that I had trouble getting to Starlight when I was a kid. I remember like absolutely having nightmares first with Marble, but then when I got older I had problems with Labyrinth. Which makes sense, right? Well, yeah, not today. Not today. Today I can beat the game legit without the spin dash, without the thingy there. What's the new movement that you jump? You know what I mean, right? The drop dash. Yeah, the drop dash. So no drop dash. Oh, this is the jump I didn't make. Let's see how it is. Well, I guess I won't know. Yeah, man. Obviously, we're gonna watch the credits, right? There's no way I'm gonna skip the credits. I would never do that. So we're gonna listen to the songs and reminisce about different times. Different times. So, do you miss video stores? Do you miss renting games? Something a bit strange to miss, but you know? Even things that we may think are not that good, sometimes they have their positives, for sure. Even today, when you have access to like all the possible ROMs that you could want and play every single retro game in existence, there is something special about having the cartridge in your hand, you know? It's not the same. Not the same. Holding a little piece of history there in your hand. Yeah, I won't try again. You can keep the emeralds, Eggman. That's fine. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you like this video. And yeah, we'll be back soon-ish with more stuff. See you soon.